Bringing Ninja Gaiden back in 2D was never going to be easy. Arguably, its most essential element, the one-hit kill, is extremely hard to emulate in the modern era. But therein lies the problem with why the series has been dormant for 3 decades in this form. It has to be one-hit kills. It's the defining element of the series and a non-negotiable element of any Ninja Gaiden 2D game. But that one-hit kill system doesn't work unless your game is especially fast-paced like Hotline Miami, and making Ninja Gaiden a game like that has 2 problems. One, it's no longer Ninja Gaiden, because while they were certainly as fast as the NES would allow for, they were more about deadly precision than fast-paced movement. And 2, that game already exists. It's called Katana Zero. But one-hit kills in normal-paced Ninja Gaiden doesn't work in the modern age because there's just not enough depth to it. The game would be too simple and ultimately boring as you mowed through enemies. Well, what about old Ninja Gaiden, I hear you say? Those games had one-hit kills and they were incredibly hard. Well, dear viewer, they had a secret technique, a hidden jutsu if you will, blatant and utter horseshit. I'm not saying they were bad games, but they were undoubtedly unfair in a way only old NES games are allowed to be. So bringing back that style of game certainly wouldn't work in the modern era, putting 2D Ninja Gaiden on ice for 30 years. Until the game kitchen cooked yet again with the system that saved 2D Ninja Gaiden in all its retro glory, the hypercharge system, the ultimate combination of precision and one-hit kills. See, how other games with precision combat like Sekiro work is having you respond to multiple fast-paced attacks before allowing them a single strike to eliminate their opponent. Ragebound flips this concept and forces you to act before the enemy can respond to land that single strike. And where other games use animations to telegraph enemy attacks and ingrain responses in you, Ragebound uses the most immediate trait our brain can recognize in order to demand our actions: color. By turning encounters into a game of Simon Says, Ragebound is able to demand joystick-snapping reaction times from us while also enforcing razor-sharp accuracy, essentially turning each battle into a puzzle where the challenge comes from reacting as fast as possible. It's extremely similar to what Doom: The Dark Ages did earlier this year, where the game shifted into a more parry-focused system, and relied on bright colors as tells with the fluorescent Helltide, as opposed to having you read animations. But the key to Ragebound comes from how it allows for Ninja Gaiden to maintain its focus on precision by creating patterns for you to complete, having you figure it out as fast as possible what the correct order to kill enemies is in order to allow you to progress unscathed. One of the many brilliant design elements of the system is not allowing you to store a hypercharge and making it fade after just a few seconds. This pushes your mind into overdrive and causes you to panic as you try to figure out where the correct place to use your slash is. When combined with the fact that the hypercharged enemies will often appear on screen before the threatening one, it can trick you into making mistakes as you rush ahead without taking the proper mental precautions. What's more, while Ragebound maintains the early game's focus on precision, it cleverly doesn't enforce it, by allowing you to get a hypercharge by sacrificing some health. This is a wonderful quality of life improvement that still carries a cost, but what makes this idea work is how it's only usable in the early game. Because there's a brief time sink in order to charge up your attack, it's only in the tamer levels where you'll have a chance to activate it. By the time you get to chapter 3 and 4, you'll be dealing with so many threats at once that messing up the pattern won't give you the opportunity to get in a hypercharge. In this way, the game is able to make its learning curve easier while still providing a challenging endgame for those who persevere. Bringing Ninja Gaiden back as a 2D title was a challenge most developers wouldn't dare attempt. After all, the iconic one-hit kill mentality is brutally uncompromising, a relic from an era where games didn't care if you finished them. Ragebound not only finds a way to honor this punishing tradition, but cleverly reinvents it, turning old-school difficulty into a rhythmic reaction-based puzzle that feels both nostalgic and refreshingly modern. It understands that true precision isn't just reflexes or timing, it's mental agility, the thrill of solving the violent puzzle in real time. By utilizing clear visual cues, Ragebound empowers you to focus purely on your reactions, creating encounters that feel fair even at their most punishing. The temporary nature of the hypercharge ensures you're always teetering on a rage's edge between triumph and failure, constantly forcing you to adapt. But perhaps the real victory here isn't just how Ragebound perfected a decades-old mechanic, it's how it revived Ninja Gaiden's identity in the process, by embracing the past without being chained to it. Ragebound proves that sometimes the best way forward is looking backwards, then striking swiftly at the perfect moment. For more parry-focused essays, here's one about the Shield in Doom the Dark Ages, and I'll be back in 2 days.